bonus time. We're also going to learn how to do magic loop today, which if you're a knitter means something kind of different than it does for crochet, so try to get that definition out of your mind. But magic loop for crochet is a way to start a circle where you don't have a gap in your stitches. So first I'm going to tie my slip knot and show you the what's called the 2-chain method. You chain 2. It's miraculous. Sometimes you chain 3, but either way, it's the same thing. Then what we do is we're going to work our first round of stitches in this first chain. So for example, most of my hats start with 12 stitches. We'll count that chain as 1, so that's 2, 3, 11, and 12. This is a perfectly acceptable circle. I slip stitch to join. It's nice and round. I can work my other stitches in there, but you can see there's a little bit of a donut effect here in that it pulls that chain apart and there's a gap in the center that you can never really close. If you're doing something like a granny square, that's awesome. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of a space there. But if you're making a toy or a hat or something where that gap could be a problem, there's another way to do it. And that's called magic loop. So instead of making our regular slip knot, we're going to make our slip knot with a tail, can you see that? Approximately the length of our hook. Apparently I didn't realize how small my camera was at this close. So we've got that extra long tail there. See that? On our slip knot. We're going to actually work into that tail by looping it around our finger to make a hole. And then we're going to work our stitches through that hole. Insert your hook. Some patterns will call for you to slip stitch, some will call you for you to go ahead and do your stitches, but I'm going to do that slip stitch so you can see what it looks like. So now we've kind of tied our tail into a loop. And then we can work our stitches into that. I'm going to chain 1 just to give myself some room. And we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 11, and 12. I know what you're thinking. That gap looks bigger than the gap we had before, right? But here's the magic part of the magic loop. There's a loop, and this loose end is our magic. Give it a pull, and look what happens. Give it another pull, and let me join this so you can see that. And it pulls that center nice and tight, and we completely lose that gap we had in the center. Particularly fantastic for hats. And that's the magic loop.